Okay. I call this meeting of the Raton Planning and Zoning Commission to order. George, will you do a roll call vote, roll call to determine a quorum?
Randy Madison.
Here.
Jason Bennett.
Here.
Jeremiah Trujillo is absent. Lynette Simpson.
Here.
Alexis Dixon.
Here.
We got 4 out of 5. That's a quorum. We can conduct business. Will everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone be seated. Okay. Next item, number 4 on our agenda is items from citizens present. If you are here to talk about one of the 3 items that we have on the agenda tonight to have public hearings on and discuss and take action, I ask that you wait till then. If you've got something new to bring before this board, please come forward, stand at the podium, and let us know what you got, okay? Jaden, do you have something?
Oh, did you swear people in?
Not yet.
Nope. I'll let you know when we're gonna do that, okay? Okay, because if we have no citizens to come forward, board members, let's deliberate and act on approval of the minutes of the meeting held on January 15th, 2026. It's in your packet. Did everybody have a chance to read through it? Do you see any corrections or additions that we need to add to it? If we have no corrections, deletions, or additions, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 15th meeting as stated.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Jason made a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Lynette gave us a second. George, we want to do a roll call vote on this one too?
We can.
Okay,
Randy
let's do it.
Madison.
Actually, I don't vote on this.
That's correct. Jason Bennett.
Yes.
Lynette Simpson.
Yes.
Alexis Dixon.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Moving on down. Next item we have to look at is the final draft, final.
It's time to swear everyone in.
No, because we're the only ones doing this. We'll swear everybody in when we get to number 6.
Okay.
Okay? So, moving on down, because it's only members of the board talking about this. The request from Willow Springs Real Estate went to the city commission, the primary plot plan and everything. We had approved it. We had forwarded on to the city commission. The city commission approved it. It's back in our hands for final approval. As near as I know, I haven't been informed of any changes or requests that the city commission made to the plan. So everything is as it was when we saw it. You remember all this, we had it in our packets and everything. So any discussion or debate between board members about our commissioners, whether we should approve the final plan and move this forward to the city commission.
You might note that this is a vacation plat on the bottom right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm. Any discussion?
I don't have anything.
We have no discussion on this issue, so I would entertain a motion from the commission to approve the final plot plan and move this back to the city commission for final approval.
I would make a motion to approve the vacation plat.
Second.
Okay, I've got a first from,
Second.
no, Lynette.
Okay, Lynette Simpson.
And George on the city's finding of fact, where we at on that
City
one?
recommends approval.
Okay, So city recommends approval. Very good. And do a roll call vote on that, please.
Jason Bennett,
Yes.
Lynette Simpson,
Yes.
Alexis Dixon,
Yes.
3-0.
Motion carries. We will move this on to the city commissioner for final approval. Okay, now we're getting into where we're gonna start a public hearing. So with that being said, I need everyone that plans to speak or testify in regards to this public hearing. I need everyone to rise, raise their right hand, and we will swear you in so you can talk. Okay. I need George. Yep, got you. You two aren't talking? Okay. So, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You're sworn in. With that said, we have a request from Cameron and, I don't remember his wife's last.
Roundtree, Jessica Roundtree.
Right. Cameron and Jessica Roybal to Roundtree. I am sorry. Got the glasses on. I'm okay now. I got it. I'm sorry. Okay. So, from Cameron and Jessica Roundtree to subdivide a piece of property. This description is, it's a type of development for subdivision. The zoning classification is the rural holding zone, which means it's outside of the city limits, but yet it borders the city limits, okay? And we have that buffer zone there so we can kind of keep track of what's going in there. Current land use is agricultural, in other words, they graze it. They're requesting that 4.6167 acre parcel subdivided from 55 plus acres, parental parcel for proposed site of a fiber optic regeneration station. The adjacent property owners are Blaine Mark Hirschcom and Walter R. Coram and Elaine T. Coram trustees. Okay, with that said, is anyone here to speak for the Roundtrees?
No, they're not.
Okay, we have nobody present for the Roundtrees. Due to time restraints tonight and stuff, we're going to allow testimony to 3 minutes, okay? And I'm only seeing 3 people here that are gonna come up and testify before us on this deal, so I don't think we have to have you pick one spokesman or anything. So, if you please come forward, one at a time, state your name, and tell us what you got to say about this. In other words, you're testifying. Come on up, stand at the podium, give us your name.
My name is Sheila Martinez. I live at the corner of Kearney and Market Street. I'm here because I'm concerned about the fiber optic regeneration hub that's buildings, whatever you call them, that's going in down there. We've never heard anything about this until Mr. Riley posted the sign in back of my house. So a lot of the neighbors that live around there don't even know what's happening down there. I'm here tonight to try to get information on what's going on down there, how it's going to affect us that live in the surrounding areas with the noise, the sound, the electricity, because to my understanding, from what I have dug up, a lot of these hubs, fiber optic hubs, use a lot of electricity. How's that going to affect the people that are living around there, and who's involved in paying for all this? Is the company going to get tax benefits for putting those hubs down there? And what's the purpose of having those there if it's not benefiting anybody in Raton? Is Raton going to benefit from the fiber optic that's going in down there? Or is it just mainly companies that are in Colorado or elsewhere that are going to benefit from this that's being put down there? From my understanding, George, the first time, told me it was only gonna be 2 buildings. Well, today when I talked to him, he said he misunderstood. Now there's 6 buildings going in down there.
I have received new information.
Okay, so that's changed again?
No, I received
Okay.
new information that now says that there could be 6.
6 buildings.
Yes.
So I'd like to know how it's gonna affect everything that's around the neighborhood, the wildlife, the sound, the electricity. What do these buildings look like? What kind of electricity are they taking?
You have a picture, George,
Yep.
that you can put up?
And I also would like to know, has the city commissioners been notified of what's going on with this purchase? Because I haven't heard anything on the city commission meeting, public input on this or anything concerning the
I
town.
can tell you why you haven't heard it at the city commission meeting.
Okay.
Because it comes to us first. And we see the preliminary drawing and stuff and the preliminary proposal. We have a public hearing like we're having right now, and we let people express their concerns and stuff. Then this board deliberates after it closes the hearing, and we will make a recommendation for it to the city commission, or we'll make a recommendation against it, and we'll send that on to the city commission. The bottom line is, the city commission can trump anything that we do on this board, okay? They're the final say, okay? So, that's what we're here to do tonight.
So
That's what we're
basically,
here
the city
to inform
commission
people.
doesn't know about this yet? Or have they been informed of what's land being purchased, or this company coming in, or?
Mr. City Manager, I know you said you weren't gonna talk, but, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that question.
Sorry, Neil, I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, Chairman and Commission, this hasn't come before the Commission yet. As you just explained, it goes through the process. At that time, then we will contact people we need to contact. Or Commission will contact the people they need to contact and
Right, you're not-
get the information. Right now, it's gotta go through this process here. It's gotta be recommended to the Commission before the Commission can do anything. As far as what their plans are, I know this is,
Commercial property.
something with telecommunications and that, but I heard they were just updating their wires, and until it comes to the city officially from this board, we don't look into it yet.
Okay, so you basically don't know anything about it yet.
Not other than what we've heard.
Okay.
So, there you go. We're in the first step, first public meeting, right here tonight.
So then, how would I get the information that we need to get more people involved in this, like,
You're looking at it right now.
okay.
I'll go through this whole.
Other
this
than
whole
that, you don't
slideshow.
have any basic pictures of what the buildings look
I'm gonna
like,
scroll
or?
through that for you in
Okay.
a moment when you finish
Okay.
your testimony.
Okay.
But George is gonna put that up for us.
Okay, now,
what I
that's the
wanna-
same, no, excuse me.
Go ahead.
That's the same printout that's on Google, when you Google search. Is that exactly what those buildings are gonna look like? Or do they have other plans on what's going to be built?
If you
Because
would
I
like-
what you just showed me, I have that on my phone. I Googled it.
If you would like, I'll scroll through this set of information that we just received. And the first page here, it shows the blue marks at the top, are 4 units they plan to put, and at the bottom down here, there's 2 more units, so there's 6 units. And there's 2 generators involved in that. There's a better picture, but you might be able to see them a little better in that slide.
And this is at the end of Market Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Way at the end, down past
Next to
where,
the fence.
Okay, do you have where the railroad tracks run?
You see the 2 lines that go up to the left? That's the railroad tracks. That's
Right here?
Yes, that's the railroad tracks.
Okay, now where these 2 objects are, is that where right now, there's an old house, adobe home?
At the very bottom, right down here at the bottom, is
That's Kearney.
Kearney. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where I'm at.
Yes.
Okay,
You're back over here off the chart. You're 2 blocks away from this unit.
Well, my house
So-
sits right at Kearney.
Across the field.
I'm here, and then we have Market Street that runs here, and then Cameron's property's
You're
here.
1,000 feet away from that unit.
And that's why you didn't receive notification.
This is another slide that just shows the elevation on the side walls. It shows the right wall, the left wall elevation, the rear elevation, the front elevation.
And there's 6 total.
That's what the last document we got, that's what they showed us. There was to be 6 units there.
And do you have any information on,
It shows a chain link fence around them. This was the last information I received from Lumen when we asked them what they would look like.
okay, that's right in back of my house right there, where the gate is.
That's the gate, yes. Let me see if I can find some more pictures of this stuff.
Has there any information brought out about the electricity usage or sound? Or,
I actually have a summary here to read to you.
okay,
Okay, public summary, Lumen Fiber Optic Regeneration Station. Like I say, we're in the early stages, so that's why I can share this with you and tell you what's been researched by the city of Raton and put out. Project Fiber Optic Regeneration Station. So in other words, all a regeneration station is think of it as a booster.
yeah, it's
Okay?
basically a
If
hub.
you go down the railroad tracks, down on the other side of State Highway 555, there's one sitting there that has copper wire coming into it. Same size building pretty much, got a generator, got heating and air conditioning and everything. It's just that the world we live in is changing from copper wire to fiber optic. I have fiber optic into my house and I live a block away from you, okay? Because I chose to, and believe me, it works better than anything I've had prior to. So all this is gonna be is a booster station. Can we tell you that the signal that it boosts does come to Raton or doesn't come to Raton? No, we don't know that, correct, George?
We have no information with.
But this is all just part of infrastructure that's been along railroad tracks for years and years, be it copper wire or the old telegraph line that used to run along that they tore all them down now. We're just progressing along as technology and everything comes to be and everything, and fiber optic happens to be the way they're doing it.
Yeah, but my concern is, the way you stated, it's nothing big, but what they're building out there, the 6 buildings, what's the purpose of those 6 buildings? I mean, is the purpose is to help Raton with their fiber optic? Or are they being put there to run all these data centers and all that are running through the state and through Colorado because data centers have to run with fiber optic substations?
This has nothing to do with data centers.
That you know of.
It's a
Because
regeneration station.
you just said you don't have any other information on
It
it,
picks
so.
the signal up, it goes through this thing, through what Randy talked about, through the fiber optics instead of copper now, and it spits it right back out and boosts the signal back
Okay, then
up.
why so many buildings have to be built down there then?
I can't answer that question. They want 6 buildings there, that's what
Yeah.
they're proposing to build there.
Okay, let me continue with my public summary, okay? What is happening, Loom Technology proposes to subdivide a 4.6167 acre parcel to build a fiber optic regeneration station. This facility is a small, unmanned utility building that maintains high-speed fiber optic signals over long distances. It is not a data center. It will not store other process data, okay? And George, did you have the building dimensions up there? Aren't they like 20 by 30? Actually,
I think they're about 24 by 36, something like that. I don't have the
right,
actual
so,
dimensions.
So they're very large buildings then?
not really. You obviously drive by my garage quite often on Kearney
do.
Avenue. 24 by 36. Perfect example.
And there'll be 6 of them down there.
Not on the initial build, correct, George?
Well, he said on the initial build there was 2.
The footprint shows 6.
Okay.
The last data
Yeah,
that we got.
but keep in mind, this board again, we're here to subdivide this property, is all we're doing. As far as what's built on it, this board has no say over, okay? I will read you the rest of this, what we do know, okay, and stuff, but as far as what's going on behind this, before this board tonight, all we're here to do is find out if subdividing the property is feasible, okay? These people were nice enough that they told us what they're planning to do with the property. Keep in mind, they didn't have to do that. All they could have had to do was walk in here and ask for a subdivision of their property. Whether they were gonna put horses in that part and cattle in this part, or what they wanted to do. They didn't have to tell us this, okay? So this brought an added element into our deliberation tonight, but in all reality, we're not here to deliberate what's going on the property, because they're not asking for a zoning change. Okay, they're not asking for a variance. It's already zoned to have telecommunications because it's in the rural holding zone and everything. So, again, I can't say it enough times. All this board is here to do tonight is say yay or nay on subdividing the property.
Well,
These people-
I just came to try to get as much information as I could for the simple reason we live down there and our neighbors are very concerned. I've got one of my neighbors here, and we're just trying to get answers on what's going down. Like I said, I don't want to stand out my back door on my deck, which right now I have beautiful scenery. I have elk, I have deer, I have bald eagles. I have all kinds of wildlife in that field that come down from those mountains.
And then they come to
what,
my yard and poo-poo. But anyway,
once this gets put up, that's gone.
These buildings show to be 12
Not at
by
all.
20 is the typical size. If you look at the picture, it tells you the size of them.
So in other words, when I walk out my back door,
I
instead
don't
of
think
seeing
you'll
the
see 'em.
scenery,
I don't
I'll
think
see
you're gonna
those.
see them.
You don't think I'm gonna see
No.
them?
Fence
Because
around.
they're gonna be down over the hill, back up against the railroad tracks. Go look
There
at
is
that
no
property.
hill down there. Have you been down? There's no hill down, it's all flat
I've been up there
land.
many times. You
It's
know?
flat, and then the railroad tracks sit up where the
Yeah,
land
but
is.
you're gonna come down like that, whether you go in.
It goes down on the back side of the railroad tracks.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter if you go in from Hart, which there's a dirt road there, you can track in there and see, you're still way lower than, Kearney Street. Okay, as you drive down the road, it's lower back there. I don't think you'll see them, but as far as you're concerned with wildlife, I happen to work on Vermejo Park Ranch every day. And we have about 6 of these buildings located next to communication towers, so our wells, and you know, the wildlife love them. They lay right there in the shade of them. The deer, the elk, whatever else likes to hang out there. So I don't see that being a legitimate beef, but at the same time, we're not here to debate that with you tonight. We're here to divide the property. So I don't want to get off the track. I want to read to you the information we have, okay? And then we're gonna move on with subdividing the property. And if the other two wanna come forward and say something, they're more than welcome to. We'll give them their turn,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
So, anyway, what is happening? Well, as I said, Lumen Technology proposes to subdivide a 4.6167 acre parcel to build I already read that to you. The subdivision creates a legal parcel for the facility and ensures proper access, utilities, and assessments. Why is this allowed? The city of Raton has authority to review subdivisions in the ETZ through a joint agreement with Colfax County. The property is considered a utility infrastructure use under the ETZ regulation 157.04, quotations A, quotations 13, and is permitted without zoning approval. So as I said, it's all in place so it can be done. A formal zoning approval use permit will be issued confirming the project conforms with ETZ regulations. What residents should know, the facility is small, has low impact, minimal traffic, occasional maintenance visits. limited electricity use, or did you get some new information on that, George, that I have not been privy to?
I have no idea how much electricity this
Okay,
unit
so
uses.
it's being put forward is limited use. They're quiet with only a small backup generator. Okay, those units that you're looking on the edge of the building, those are heating and cooling units. Those are no louder than my AC unit in the back of my house, okay? Did you hear my generator running Thursday night? I had it on all night from 6 o'clock till the power came back on 2. Did you hear my generator running at your house?
Yeah.
You did?
No, I'm just asking, because these generators are no different than that generator, okay? These new generators, they've got them so quiet, they're so effective. I don't know if they're gonna be run off of natural gas, LP, or diesel, but I'm willing to bet it's gonna be natural gas. They're gonna dig a line down there and put it in, more than likely. They run very quiet. Okay, it's gonna go right along the road easement down there across from Young's building. Okay, so with that said, it supports critical communication infrastructure for the region. Again, I can't tell you that the signal I'm getting at my house is gonna come off that line, but it's all part of it. Then I can throw another tidbit of information out that came before this board about 6 months ago. Baca Valley was here. And we granted Baca Valley variance in a permit up on the corner of Tiger Drive and Tiger Circle. And right there, they have a generator, and they have a mini regeneration facility right there. And that's how they're boosting their fiber optic that they're bringing to my house. Okay, so that's already in play too. Continuing on, the subdivision does not change the character of the surrounding area. It is consistent with existing planning rules. So it comes into everything that, we have at our access within the boundaries of this book, the planning ordinance and everything. Then there's another piece of paper that comes into play, and it's pretty big. I think it's got 498 pages in it. It's called the,
Comprehensive plan.
Yeah, the comprehensive plan. Okay, some of us were on that committee too. So the comprehensive plan spells out what the city of Raton hopes to accomplish over the next 15 years. With growth, so we're still here, we're still functioning, all these types of things. So that's all in that book. If you want to look it up online, that one's there. So with that said, the next step, the Planning Commission will approve the subdivision and zoning permit. Final plat will be recorded once all the conditions are made, and construction of the fiber optic regeneration station may begin after permit issue. Now, as I said, there's steps to this. We're here tonight looking at the primary. When we finish the primary, we will hand it off to the city commission. They're gonna review the primary. They're gonna have a public hearing, just the same as we are, to hear people's input. And yes, there may be different people there at the city commission one, okay? Then they're gonna look at it, and if they put their stamp of final approval on it, it comes back to us again, just like we did with the property before us. We vote as a group to approve it or not approve the final approval. Then it goes back to the city commission. From there, George can issue a building permit, a zoning permit. Okay, and at that time, they have to show him the drawings and everything that's going on, correct?
Yep.
And I am sure if George has any concerns about electricity, he will reach out to David. That's what David's there for. There's going to be no sewer or water. All it is going to have is electricity. It's unmanned. Minimal traffic back and forth to it. If it pops a breaker, somebody might drive down there in a pickup and reset the breaker, is what it's going to amount to. Okay? So that is all I can share with you at this time. Okay?
So then, in other words, we just wait till it gets passed off to the city commission.
That's the next step.
Yeah.
That is the next step. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, all we have the authority to do is approve the subdivision. The city commission, and I don't even know if they're gonna look at the building at that point. Because again, all they're doing is approving the plot, okay? the building is clear down the line. Before George can issue a zoning permit or a building, it has to pass us twice, and it has to pass the city commission. Okay? Jaden, do you want to explain any more, or?
I think you did a good job.
Okay,
Okay, that's,
yes,
Thank you for coming.
thank you.
next.
She basically asked everything I was gonna ask.
Ma'am, coming up?
Yes, I'd like to really appreciate all the information.
Okay.
You know, we're kind of transparency starved in a lot of ways. And I know. Oh,
State your
I'm-
name,
I am.
State your name.
My name is
State your name. I'm
Chris,
sorry.
Kristen Ulrich.
Right.
I live on Kearney Street. You're a neighbor.
Yes.
The Martinez, I've been down there for 30 years. And I thank you for, and you all over at High Country or close by, you know, we're Southsiders.
Yes.
And I appreciate you talking about this. Are there any Lumen representatives here tonight?
No, there's not.
No.
No? Oh, I'm glad to know the name of the company. That's a big piece of what I was wondering about. And thank you for explaining how zoning fits into the process that's happening now and what that will be. That's good. Because with a lack of knowledge makes us all very nervous. Because we've been here so long, we've seen the city make and the county make some fantastic decisions. And some decisions that did not serve us well and made us lose opportunity. In a lot of ways, what we're talking about here is opportunity, right? To get the fiber optic going so everybody can spark up their projects that are new and artificial intelligence type things. My question is really only this, and it's just through zoning and planning, and I don't expect you all to have a dissertation on this, but as I understand it, the CenturyLink building here in town has been purchased for some purpose.
I have no information with.
So you don't? Well, Mike, then I'm gonna add, because that's gonna come up. Because there are people that we come to the city commission, and the planning and zoning is something that we need to know about, because there's a lot going on and it's got a lot of moving pieces. And we would like to understand how that's going to affect our town and our quality of life, and and make sure that the planning is productive for all of us, not just the billionaires or whatnot, of which there are few here. I know that was somewhat sarcastic. That's really all I wanted to know, is that what connection does this have with what's going on in the CenturyLink building?
I know
no
nothing about
idea.
the CenturyLink building. It's
Well,
news to
then
me.
may I suggest that we might look into that?
Is the CenturyLink building, is that the building that's beside Kunica?
No, it's right next to
No,
Marty's
it's
house.
right up the street on, yeah.
How far is that from your house, Marty?
A block?
A block? I've heard absolutely no discussion about the
No.
CenturyLink building.
No,
Okay.
if that building gets bought, that means CenturyLink sold out to somebody. And
Yeah,
because
they're
that's
selling
all-
out.
That's the entire telephone infrastructure for the town of Raton.
Yep, has generators, has switchboards galore. I've been in there many times as the deputy fire chief when their alarm systems have went off, and we made a mad dash there, because that's not a building we want to catch on fire, because we would be phoneless.
Well, I feel like the information came from a source that I really trust, but maybe there's some error there, and so if you all haven't heard about it at this time, then that's where it is, and if there's going to be more developed, then I'm sure that we'll be visiting again. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
Okay,
coming.
thank you, appreciate it. Ira, did you have something you wanted to say, or are you just here? Okay, sounds good. At this time, if no one else wishes to come forward and present any information why we should not subdivide this property, or why we should, and unfortunately, like I said, we don't have anybody here from the Roundtrees, and it would actually be the Roundtrees, it's their property. We have nobody here from the Roundtrees to tell us yay or nay why they want to do it. For those of you who don't know the Roundtrees, they were the people that had the barbecue there off of the Art of Snacks. Elaine Roundtree used to be around here. She was the OMI and different things. Robert Calabro worked at the fire department. He was Elaine Roundtree's son. I could go on and on about this group of people, but I'm not here to make a case for them one way or the other. I'm here as chairman of this board to see what the people have to say, generate a discussion amongst ourselves, and we will move on how we feel is the best way to proceed for the people of Raton in the city of Raton. So, if I have no one else to come forward and testify, I would entertain a motion from a board member or commissioner. I use them two terms intermittently. But anyway, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing side of the Roundtree subdivision.
I move to close the public.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Lynette. I have a second by Jason. All those in favor, George, do a roll call.
Okay, Jason Bennett,
Yes.
Lynette Simpson.
Yes.
Alexis Dixon.
Yes.
3-0.
Okay, motion carries. Public hearing side of this deliberation and actions has been closed. At this point, Lynette, concerns and questions that you may have for George, or you may have, Jaden can probably answer a few for us if you have more questions about what's going on there.
No, we're just voting tonight to subdivide. Not
Correct.
anything else.
Nothing else.
Okay.
We don't have the power.
I know,
to-
I'm just making sure that I read everything correctly.
Okay, Alexis?
No, and it looks like the minimum lot area allowed in that zone is 2.5 acres, right? And they're requesting 4.6.
Correct. Correct. And that's in the rural holding zone, yes. Jason?
I have nothing.
Okay. Being we have no further questions or debate about this, I would entertain a motion to approve the subdivision of the stated property in the request.
You second it?
No, somebody's got to make a motion. I can't make motions anymore.
Go, Jason.
I'll make
It
a
looks like you've got it
motion to
packaged.
approve.
Okay, got a motion from Jason to approve. Got a second from
I
Alexis.
second it.
George, do a roll call, please.
Okay, Jason Bennett,
Yes.
Lynette Simpson.
Yes.
Alexis Dixon.
Yes.
Motion carries. We will now move this forward. This is the preliminary action. We will move this forward to the Raton City Commission. And I'm assuming they will probably talk about it at their next meeting if they've got enough time to post it. Okay, next item on the agenda, moving on down, is deliberate and act on a request for a special exception for the City of Raton and Vinke LLC to allow for grazing livestock for fire mitigation. Property is located at 1620 South 2nd Street, and the UPC 1235-183-002454. With that said, there's nobody here to really talk about that tonight either, unless the city manager is. Okay, then we're gonna leave that alone too. With that said, everybody, we did this last year.
Is this La Mesa Park?
Yes.
Yes, and I think it was an excellent thing because we kept that grass ate down and knocked some of the weeds down. Granted, there's still weeds standing, but cows don't eat weeds a lot of times. We have to put goats in there if we wanted that done, more so. But anyway, it was set up this last go around on a year, we did it for 1 year. Is what we're looking at right now is to do it, so we don't have to come back here every year, approve this exception. And again, the city manager and probably the people grazing the property will be looking at it to make sure we're not overgrazing it and everything, because we don't want that to turn into a dust bowl or anything like that. We've all seen those around. If you've ever been to Las Vegas where they overgraze that, it's still wind blowing through there and dust. So we don't want that to happen. So let's open the public hearing to this. Anybody come forward, talk about us entertaining a special exception for the City of Raton and Vinke LLC. This is gonna be an easy one. So, staying in conjunction with things, nobody's came forward. I would entertain a motion from the board to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Alexis to close the public hearing. Have a second by Jason. Roll call vote, George.
Excuse me. Jason Bennett?
Yes.
Lynette Simpson?
Yes.
Alexis Dixon?
Yes.
Be 3-0.
Okay, at this time, public hearing is closed. Board members, what do you think?
I think it's a good idea, but I think we have to, as you say, we don't want this to turn into Las Vegas. You gotta be, grazing for fire mitigation, I think should be, especially within the city limits, pretty much be restricted to cattle. As you know, horses will turn it into dirt quicker than anything.
And goats will lead it right off to the dirt too.
And we don't have good enough fences to keep goats and sheep out of people's yards all
Okay.
over the place. Cattle are made for this purpose, and also limited use. It's like, not once you put them on there, they stay there from year to year.
Right. And we're gonna hand that responsibility to the city manager. Sound good to everybody? Okay, with that said, Jason,
I have nothing.
Lynette, anything else? Okay, with that said, I would entertain a motion to grant the special exception to the property located at 1620 South Second Street, Old La Mesa Park.
City recommends approval.
I'm sorry, George.
It's all right.
I've always got to ask the city how they, and it's what throws me off on this is we got findings of fact and it says approval, but I need to hear it come out of his
Can I
mouth.
mention just the cattle?
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Help me get started.
You want to make a motion to
I-
approve for it to
I
just
make a
be
motion
cattle and proper oversight
To
of,
approve the grazing of La Mesa Park restricted to cattle only, and limited use as seen fit by the city
Weather
manager.
conditions. Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second.
Who made the motion?
Alexis made the motion. Jason seconded. With that said, George, do a roll call vote, please.
Jason Bennett?
Yes.
Lynette Simpson?
Yes.
Alexis Dixon?
Yes.
Okay. Old business, new business. Old business, George.
I don't think we have any old business.
Okay, new business.
We have a new Mexico Municipal League of Zoning Officers meeting scheduled. I think it's gonna be around May the 12th through the 14th in Silver City. So I hope you guys can make that. It's some good training. And in our next meeting, we'll do a little bit of discussion on some procedural changes we need to make. After the meeting that you guys went to, it's helped us so much, so we'll bring that stuff up to par. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Did we finish anything or get anywhere on our tiny home stuff?
No, the tiny home stuff has
Just out of curiosity.
basically been put
Put to bed.
Well, pretty much, or put to the side, because Jaden Welch found in our ordinance, where we always thought that there was an 864 square foot minimum requirement for a home, and now we realize that there's no requirement for the size of a home. We can be 300 or 400 square feet. So that
was for a
basically
trailer house.
answers that question about tiny homes, and we'll address anybody that wants to build a small home like that. They'll come and get a zoning permit if they have to have a variance or whatever. One thing that we will require that we've talked about is any tiny home will have to be set on a permanent foundation. We're not gonna have these things, mobile homes come in, take the wheels out and call them a tiny home. And they'll have to be built by the current construction code.
So that's where we're at on that. George, did you say that we've tentatively scheduled our special meeting for April 9th?
That's correct.
Okay. Did everybody get that wrote down and heard it? We got a few things we couldn't get on this agenda tonight. We didn't have the 15 days and everything, so that's why we've already went ahead and scheduled that.
April 9th, 6 p.m.?
April 9th. Yes. We have no other new business or old business. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting and get out of here.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion from Alexis to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second from Lynette.